Welcome to the character analysis of Demon Slayers. Today we'll be meeting Yoriichi, the OP character in the world of Demon Slayers, known for his unparalleled combat skills and lightning-fast agility. Get ready to witness the Slayer's humble journey, which shows us the fragility and willingness of life, the complexities of human emotions, and the enduring power of compassion, even in the face of tragedy. Without further ado, let's dive into Yoriichi, the Demon Slayer. During the Warring States period, Yoriichi and Michikazu were born as twins. At that time, twins were considered ominous for potentially causing succession conflicts. Due to the hierarchical society atmosphere that favored the eldest, it was challenging to clearly distinguish the status of the twins given the characteristics of past East Asian societies and cultures. From birth, Yoriichi had a mark on his forehead that made his father consider him ominous, almost leading to his death shortly after birth. But it was prevented by his mother's opposition. Michikazu witnessed his mother's anger for the first time that day. Eventually, an argument was reached that when they turned 10, they would be separated involuntarily, with conditions that left Yoriichi isolated until then. While Michikazu grew up with great care in a spacious room as a successor, Yoriichi lived in a room approximately the size of 3 tatami mats. Despite being a child, it was excessively cramped. Yoriichi's deeply religious mother gave him a protective earring, a charm engraved with the pattern of the sun. We see Kamado Tanjiro wearing the same earrings in the Demon Slayers episodes. During that time, Yoriichi was treated as a burden by his father, and he almost faced physical punishment for no apparent reason at all. However, Michikazu, his older brother, considered Yoriichi pitiful, shielding him from their father and even disobeying orders to visit Yoriichi's room and play with him. Yoriichi admired Michikazu, who, despite facing punishment from their father, handed Yoriichi a handmade wooden flute, considering him one of the most cherished beings in his life. However, Michikazu misunderstood Yoriichi, who, despite being capable of walking, always clung to their mother's side, assuming him to be a timid and fragile younger brother. One day, witnessing Michikazu striving to become the best samurai in Japan, Yoriichi expressed that if Michikazu aimed to become the top swordsman, he would strive to become the second strongest. Michikazu, thinking Yoriichi, who always stayed close to their mother, could never become a samurai, secretly felt unpleasant about this fact. However, one day during a training session where a martial arts instructor jokingly taught Yoriichi how to handle a sword, the young boy, learning the technique for the first time, accidentally injured the instructor, causing him to faint. Despite the instructor likely being a formidable swordsman from a renowned family, Michikazu, surprised by what happened, asked how Yoriichi did it. Yoriichi explained that he had a method of controlling his breathing and responding to the person's body. He casually mentioned wanting to play with Michikazu, like playing shuttlecock or flying kites. Naturally, Michikazu could not fully comprehend Yoriichi's explanation and thoughts. Moreover, from that day on, Yoriichi, feeling uncomfortable about the sensation of harming people, distanced himself from the swords. Michikazu envied Yoriichi, but felt jealous of Yoriichi's abandoning the path of the sword despite his exceptional talent. Michikazu spent a sleepless night fearing that his position would completely reverse with Yoriichi after his father's subordinates reported about Yoriichi. On the night their mother died, Yoriichi came to Michikazu, informing him to their mother's death, his intentions to leave spontaneously, and his plan to cherish the flute he received from Michikazu himself for the rest of his life. According to the diary left by their mother, Yoriichi decided to leave home earlier than planned because he realized he would become the successor, as he knew everything about their mother's illness and the timing of her death. The reason he always clung to their mother was to support her weakened half-body due to illness. This incident led Michikazu to harbor clear feelings of jealousy and hatred towards Yoriichi. As a side note, the father of the Tsugikuni brothers, realizing his mistakes after his wife's death, tried to apologize and find Yoriichi, who had left home, but ultimately he could not locate him and died in regret. Part 2. Leaving home. Unaware of the feelings of his elder brother and father, Yoriichi left home with the desire to explore the vast world. Tirelessly traveling to different places, while wandering, he came across a girl named Uta who had lost her family to a pandemic while passing through a rural village. Finding some common ground, they ended up sharing meals together at her home. It was during this time that Yoriichi, listening to Uta's story, realized that his talents were not ordinary. Back when he was still part of the family, everyone thought breathing and seeing were done in the same way. Spending a long time together, they unknowingly fell in love, eventually marrying for 10 years later on. However, when Uta became pregnant and was about to give birth, Yoriichi left her alone at home and went beyond the mountains to call a midwife. On his way, he encountered an elderly man with a weak heart and learned that he was on his way to meet his son, who had been injured after crossing 3 mountains. Yoriichi carried the old man and took him there, but by the time he returned, it was too late. Uta had been murdered by demons while protecting their unborn child. One curious point is that Uta's body was left untouched, and the reason why demons did not consume her is not explained in the story. If the demon who killed Uta was harmless, it might have been because they tried to turn her into a demon but accidentally put too much blood, causing her death. Yoriichi regretted helping the old man, thinking that if he hadn't, he might have reached Uta and the midwife before it was too late. He carried this regret throughout his life and never engaged in any relationships with women until his death. Part 3. The Path of Vengeance. Yoriichi, holding the bodies of his dead wife and child for 10 days, encountered a demon slayer who had been tracking the traces of demons. At that time, the official term Hashira or Kisalte might not have been existed, or Yoriichi might have not been aware of such a name, as he referred to them as just slayers. Yoriichi, after hearing the words of the slayer, "If you don't bury them, it's pitiful," he finally buried the bodies. During this time, Yoriichi's face is revealed, showing signs of swollen eyes from crying, while Kokushibo's recollection portrayed him as sage who transcended the world in reality. Yoriichi was a human capable of ordinary emotions such as laughter and sadness. Despite glimpses of Yoriichi smiling in Kokushibo's recollection, Yoriichi's talent and superhuman aspects are more emphasized than his human side. Due to feelings of inferiority, Kokushibo had no interest in or noticed his brother Yoriichi's human qualities. This incident is somewhat similar to Muichiro's past. Muichiro also clung to his brother's body for days after his death, becoming a demon slayer. However, Muichiro lost his memory of this event due to the intense psychological trauma driven by the resentment of losing his family to demons. Yoriichi became a demon slayer. At that time, the concept of total concentration breathing did not exist in Hashira or in Kisalte, and Yoriichi introduced his own breathing technique. Although no one could use Yoriichi's sun breathing, they incorporated unique derived breathing techniques into their original swordsmanship, making them significantly stronger. In this scene, there is a person with the distinctive hairstyle of the Rengoku family, suggesting that this individual is likely an ancestor of the Rengoku family and the practitioner of the original fire breathing. As a result, the power of Demon Slayer Corps dramatically increased. Meanwhile, after Yoriichi's departure, Michikazu, who gradually forgot his hatred and jealousy towards Yoriichi, while inheriting the family and having a wife and children, was attacked by demons. His subordinates were annihilated and he was in a life-threatening situation. Yoriichi appeared, saving his brother and apologizing for being late, leading Michikazu to abandon his family, children, and to join the Hashira or the Demon Slayer Corps. This event led to the downfall of the Tsugikuni family name, transforming and descending to Tokito Muichiro and his family to live in the woods, who struggled to make a living as a lumberjack in the countryside rather than the respected samurai household that their name possesses. Despite practicing and doing everything to catch up to Yoriichi, Michikazu, who has once thought he could somehow match his brother, heard Yoriichi deny the value of his efforts and the uniqueness of his own strength that he personally possesses. This denial was essentially rejecting Michikazu's entire life, which he had considered special despite the hardship and effort he had put into becoming so strong. Despite expecting the descendants to surpass him, it seemed challenging to believe that anyone, even with the combined strength of the current top talents, could reach Yoriichi's level. Afterward, it was revealed that Hashiras who had reached the level of total concentration and bearing the breathing mark would die before reaching the age of 25. Faced with the fact that Michikazu would die before surpassing his brother, he hesitated and ultimately succumbed to the tricks of the first demon, becoming the demon himself. Unaware of this, Yoriichi continued to hunt demons, later on encountering a mysterious female demon walking with the first demon at first sight. Yoriichi instantly knew that he was born to defeat this first demon. And who was this first demon?
それは私のことか?
It was Muzan. Part 4. The Encounter. The demon was Muzan and Tamayo. Muzan launched an attack along with the statement that he no longer is interested in a swordsman who uses the breathing technique. Muzan is referring to when he had already transformed Michikazu, Yoriichi's brother, into the demon himself. And it seemed Muzan was curious about what would happen if a swordsman who had learned a threatening breathing technique became a demon. Yoriichi sensed that just a gaze from Muzan would be fatal. However, as he felt the immediate threat to his life, Yoriichi glimpsed into the world where he could see the 13th form of sun breathing, completing it by severing the area containing Muzan's brain and the heart on the left side of his chest. However, Muzan, having overcome decapitation before, didn't die and just sat down. Approaching Muzan, Yoriichi asked if he valued life. As Muzan exploded into over 1,800 pieces and attempted to escape, Yoriichi managed to cut around 1,500 pieces, demonstrating his remarkable skill. However, Yoriichi was taken back as he didn't know Muzan could regenerate, and due to this surprise, about 300 pieces, enough to form another head, slipped away. Muzan managed to hide like a mouse for a while, at least until Yoriichi's death. Yoriichi sought help from Tamayo, who had escaped Muzan's control. Tamayo agreed to help defeat Muzan. After finding out that Yoriichi's brother killed their master, offered his neck to Muzan and became a demon, Yoriichi was questioned about his responsibility for letting this happen, as well as the decision not to kill the demon Tamayo, and the blame towards him increased. Some even demanded Yoriichi's execution. However, due to the past act of mercy from the 6-year-old leader Ubuyaki, Yoriichi got expelled and banned. Yoriichi, burdened by guilt, left the group, and despite leaving, he stayed in contact with a few friends. Without Yoriichi's guidance, the group gradually weakened. Part 5. The Secession from Demon Slayer Corps. After being expelled from the Demon Slayer Corps, Yoriichi unintentionally found his way to the house where he used to live with Uta. And there he rescued the charcoal-burning couple Sumiyoshi and Suyako from a demon attack. Yoriichi, even though it was his old home, intended to leave soon. He claimed not to be a special person, blaming himself for not protecting anything valuable and considering himself worthless. Yoriichi admitted that he was born exceptionally strong to defeat Muzan, but he failed. He expressed his pain, foreseeing that many more lives would be lost due to his failure. Sumiyoshi, unable to offer words of comfort, was tearful. Then Sumiyoshi's child, Sumie, approached and pleaded for Yoriichi to hug her. Sumiyoshi mentioned that Sumie likes being lifted up high, and as Yoriichi was taller, requested him to do so. Yoriichi lifted Sumie and she joyfully laughed. Overwhelmed by the sight of the child laughing brightly, Yoriichi hugged Sumie, shedding tears of sadness. It seemed he was reminded of his unborn child from long ago. He handed an earring to signify that he would not appear before them anymore. thanking the Commodores, expressing gratitude with a bright big smile. Part 6. The Final Breath. For about 60 years, it is not clear where Yoriichi lived or what he did. It is speculated that he might have lived alone, dealing with demons, or sought happiness learned from Sumiyoshi's family. When he turned 80, he led Nobu and came to find his brother for the last time before his death. Upon seeing his transformed brother into a demon, Yoriichi shed tears and expressed sorrow, showcasing the immense character and breadth of Yoriichi's personality. Despite becoming bitter enemies after Kokushibo killed the head of the Ubuyashiki family and took his head to Muzan, Yoriichi did not show resentment. As Kokushibo, considering Yoriichi old and himself a demon, believed he could naturally be stronger and resolved to kill Yoriichi. Nevertheless, Yoriichi, with his aged body, displayed the same strength at his prime, inflicting wounds on Kokushibo's neck. Sensing that the next strike would be fatal, Kokushibo keenly felt his impending perfect defeat. However, the final blow did not come from Yoriichi. With his lifespan exhausted, he passed away of natural causes, standing in the same exact place. Overwhelmed by feelings of inferiority and anger towards his brother, who only won and left, Kokushibo exploded, splitting his brother's corpse in half. As he held the remains of the corpse, he saw the poorly crafted wooden flute he had made for his brother in the past, now split into two, and tears streamed down his face. Even while expressing admiration and regret towards Yoriichi in hell, Kokushibo never had the chance to meet his younger brother. The tragic tale of the two brothers, which began as a tragedy, concluded without redemption, even in its final moments. The story leaves us with a poignant moral, that even the most determined efforts and noble intentions cannot always rewrite the tragic script of destiny. It reminds us that life's journey is unpredictable, and the pursuit of one's desire may lead to unforeseen consequences. I thank you for joining me in this video, and I urge you to please subscribe for more contents like this. It will be a great help. Arigatou gozaimashite. Thank you for watching. Until next time, sayonara.
You on your way, yeah. But it's been this life alienating myself from the people that are good to me.